Alright, so in this video I'm going to be making another morning pre-workout elixir. I'm going to be using some new ingredients for myself, some new things that I'm experimenting with, and I wanted to share those things with you right now. So in the blender, I already have 16 ounces of warm water, a couple tablespoons of coconut oil, and about a teaspoon of raw honey. Now, I will say the first new thing that I'm going to start adding in is going to be some pumpkin seed butter. Now, I'm not actually going to do it for this particular drink because I already added the coconut oil and I don't really want to OD on the fat. But this is going to be my next thing that I'm going to start adding in because it's good to change up your fat sources, change up your protein sources, and just really change up your calorie sources in general on a regular basis just to kind of keep things fresh and keep your body from getting really too accustomed to one thing. Now, the pumpkin seed butter is really great because this particular brand has already been soaked and sprouted, which is good for nuts and seeds because this makes them more digestible, makes the nutrients more absorbable because these seeds and nuts and grains contain anti-nutrients that if we don't soak them and sprout them, if we just eat them, can actually strip us of minerals, things like zinc and many other important trace minerals. So this pumpkin seed butter is, as you can see, is a nice green color, which indicates that it's rich in chlorophyll. And the main thing with pumpkin seed butter is that it's really good for the prostate. It's really good for reproductive functions for both male and female. And it has a lot of zinc and good omega fatty acids. So that's kind of why I'm into it. And it seems to really fit the model of being a hormonal food, endocrine system supporting food, and really a Jing anabolic food. And it just tastes good and it's fun to really play around with. So what I've been doing lately is mixing it with some of this new protein powder, which I just got the other day, and putting these two together, mixing it up with a little bit of honey, a little stevia, and just making kind of a ball out of it and forming it into a bar. And it makes a really good, high energy, really nutrient dense snack bar. So this stuff that I have here is from the Protein Factory, which I just came across this site researching, trying to find a good or another source for grass-fed raw whey powder. And I found this site, and some of the products are kind of not really anything I'm into because it's more of like a bodybuilder looking for, massive increased protein thing. So a lot of it is like things that I wouldn't necessarily take for myself, but it's still interesting. And the whole concept of the site is pretty cool because what I like about it is you can just select a product, which this is the native whey isolate. So what that means is native means basically that it's coming just from milk, whereas most whey is coming from milk and then it's coming from cheese. So it really denatures the protein and it's not really as good as it could be if it just came from cheese. So this stuff is supposed to be twice the anabolic effect because it hasn't been treated twice and processed twice, so it's just coming right from the milk and it's cold processed, and from their testing they're able to determine that it has a lot more immunoglobulins, not immunoglobulins, but immunoglobulins, and a lot more growth factors and lactoferrin and many other these things that make whey protein and things like colostrum very beneficial and very good for the body. Now, what I like about the company is that you can actually, say you select the native whey, well you can add in some enzyme blends, whether that's a carb digesting enzyme blend or an amino enzyme blend. You can add in your own flavorings, you can add in different supplements, say like L-glutamine, you can add in all kinds of different things and really make your own powder, and it's pretty awesome. And I actually found another site recently where you can literally make your own blend, and they have a whole list of pretty much every kind of protein powder from the vegetarian options, the hemp and rice to whey, and then all the way on to everything else you can think of. And you can basically just mix and match and make your own powder. It's pretty cool, and then on top of that you can add in whatever, if you want to supplement vitamins and minerals, you want to supplement B vitamins, vitamin C, enzymes, whatever it is, you can just add it in, and that's a pretty cool thing. But I haven't experimented with that company yet. What I'm doing now is this proteinfactory.com. If you're interested, if it's something you want to explore, I highly recommend it because this stuff tastes pretty good and digests for me pretty well. So I'm going to do 2 heaping scoops of that, just to give the drink, actually I did about 3, to give the drink a really nice, creamy, milky body. That's really going to make this taste really well and be nice and anabolic and very satiating and nutritive for my body. Now, if you're into, you don't do dairy, maybe your body doesn't tolerate it, fine, just use, sunwort is awesome, or hemp, which I'm not really that big of a fan of, or whatever else you're into, whether that be a blend, is usually a more optimal choice. So the next ingredient I'm going to add is some soaked chia seeds. I'm only going to add this now because lately I've been forgetting and blending the drink up and having to come back and add it again later. So just to avoid that, I'm adding about 3 spoonfuls of soaked chia seeds. And the next ingredient, which is going to fit the anabolic growth factor protein kind of model, is going to be, of course, about a heaping tablespoon of pine pollen powder. Now, the next ingredient, again on the same wavelength, is going to be a tablespoon of the L-glutamine. And actually I'm going to do about a heaping tablespoon. And so far I've been really liking this stuff. Typically it's not something I've really been into, but as you can see from a lot of these ingredients, I've just been exploring and trying new things. I've been exploring a lot of herbs, so now I'm moving and exploring a lot of protein powders or other kind of supplements, just to really see what's out there and see what kind of results I can get, because we're lucky right now. We can get so many things in such good high quality, such a low price, at such an accessible way. Why not experiment? Why not find something out that could really help us and can really take our health or our physical vitality to the next level. So speaking of herbs, the next ingredient I'm going to add is going to be about a teaspoon of astragalus extract. And this is, of course, from Hyperion Herbs, and it's one of my favorite extracts right now because it tastes good. Sheets on it, it's going to help digestion, it's going to help with energy, it's going to help with transforming these nutrients and actually allow me to build muscle, build a body, build a frame, and regenerate. Also, it's just going to be energizing for my workout without being stimulating, really increase oxygen efficiency and increase just overall metabolic functioning. So the next ingredient is going to be about 2 teaspoons of reishi extract. Reishi, again, as it applies to this model, is a great lung tonic. So it's really going to help with breathing. It's really going to help keep the body calm and relaxed, because the first half of my workout is going to be more vigorous, and the second half is going to be much more calm and meditative, much more focused on like qigong and sitting meditation. So having reishi in the equation is really going to help me get into that mode and just be calm, focused, aware, and present throughout the whole course of my workout. So the next ingredient I'm going to add for just awesome flavoring is going to be about a teaspoon of vanilla bean powder, and I'm actually needing a couple of other ingredients. So I'm going to need to add, of course, 2 squirts of English toffee stevia, which just adds a really awesome flavor to the drink, in conjunction with the dandy blend that I'm going to add a little bit and the whey that I added earlier. So I'm going to do just a few squirts of the Angstrom Trace Minerals. Because again, minerals are really, really important, and it's really easy for us to go deficient, especially if we're active. And even if we're not active, we can really go deficient. And actually what I'm going to be doing very soon is getting a lot of blood work done to determine whether or not I'm deficient in anything, and just to see where my levels are at for all the micronutrients, all the macronutrients, but all the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and vitamin D, things like that, that are really, really important. So the next ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of dandy blend. Now that's pretty much going to round out this drink. And from the dandy blend, I'm actually going to add a little bit more of, because I really like it. So that's about 2 tablespoons of dandy blend. And those flavors, the dandy blend and the whey, are going to really blend and make this a really delicious, creamy, tasty drink without being too sweet, but just being sweet enough to where my palate likes it. Because if it's too bitter, you're not really going to like it, not really going to want to drink it. But if it's way too sweet, it's either going to be too sweet or you're just going to guzzle it in 2 seconds and it's going to be gone. So you got to find somewhere where it's just sweet enough to where you like it and you're going to drink it, but you're not just going to down it in 2 seconds because it's like dessert or something. So I'm going to blend this up. I'll be back to it. Alright, so here I am with my finished product, and it's extremely delicious. And I can tell that I'm really going to enjoy it, and I'm going to want to chug a lot of it really soon because it's early morning, I haven't eaten yet, so I'm really hungry. Blood sugar is starting to get kind of low, so this is going to be perfect for me right now before my workout. And to go back to what I was talking about earlier as far as testing, I think it's really important to get things tested as far as maybe potential deficiencies that you might have, whether that's a hair mineral analysis, which is easy, or a blood panel, which can actually test what you may or may not be deficient in, whether that's just a full spectrum thing, or even as simply as a vitamin D test to see where your levels are, or even what I'm going to be doing, which is pretty much all of those. I'm going to be getting a full spectrum test. I'm going to be doing a hormonal profile to see levels of testosterone, free testosterone, serum testosterone, estradiol, and many other things, just to see where I'm at, so that more importantly, as I start to experiment with things and do things, I'll be able to track what's working and what's not working, both with how I feel, how I look, how I experience life, and with the data and the numbers that are coming out scientifically. And because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, I have a lot of actually programs written out for myself, one for the endocrine system, one for the immune system, and then a few others that I'm working on that I'm going to be fine-tuning and tweaking and then eventually releasing as courses. But I want to make sure for myself and just track everything from the start to see exactly what happens and what's changing and what's doing what, and just really take all this stuff to a higher level of analysis and insight and exploration, both for me, for my own personal health, and both so I can share with you so you can apply it to your life and take your health to other levels so you can find out, maybe you're deficient in this, maybe you're deficient in that. Because I found out through researching and through talking to people that some people just found out that, okay, maybe they were deficient in B12 and vitamin D, so they supplemented those, and then their whole health just exploded and everything went to a new level. Or someone else was deficient in selenium and vitamin E, and then they supplemented those things, got their levels back up, and then boom, everything else just improved and went to a new level. So that's something that I'm going to be doing soon. It's relatively inexpensive, and for the value that you get back for that, it's incredible. So I'll be posting my results as I get them done. Actually, I have the test set up and paid for. It's just there's a couple inches of ice on the road, so I don't really feel like driving because my car is completely covered with ice, and so I'm going to have to wait until all that dethaws so I can get out and go get some tests done. But again, I'm going to be sharing all the results with you as far as the progress and what's happening, what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll benefit you and you'll be able to apply it to your life and see where you're at with your health. Both with how you feel, how you look, how you experience life, and also from a scientific left brain linear point of view. So that's my drink. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.